Today we will study histology of female reproductive system. Female reproductive system comprises of uterus, fallopian tube, vagina, ovary as well as the mammary gland. Here you can see this is uterus. Upper 2/3 is known as body, whereas the lower 1/3 of the uterus is cervix. It has got 3 angles, 2 superolateral and 1 inferior angle. With the 2 superolateral angle, this tube is continuous, known as fallopian tube. They are in pairs. And lastly, this one is ovary, which are also in pairs. Below cervix, this is vagina. The general plan of histology of female reproductive system. It is the mucosa, muscle layer and serosa, MMS. Histology of uterus. The histology of uterus, the histological layers, the pattern is same as that of other region of the female reproductive system, that is MMS. As we are seeing here, both gender, male and female, they are indulged in the multimedia messaging system, that is MMS. So mucosa, then comes muscle layer and serosa. In uterus, mucosa, also known as endometrium, it is made up of epithelium plus lamina propria. Here is this one is epithelium, and after that this one is lamina propria, a big area. Epithelium is of simple columnar type, and lamina propria divide into stratum basal and stratum functional. Functional again divided into stratum compactum in the luminal aspect and stratum spongiosum, having a spongy texture for giving a space to the artery and gland. Then come this one is myometrium. Myometrium, the muscle layer, that is luckily longitudinal, then circular, and then again longitudinal. Outer longitudinal, middle circular and inner longitudinal. But middle circular, this one is not purely circular. Actually it is circular plus longitudinal, haphazardly pattern. It is arranged in haphazardly pattern and known as reticular. Also known as stratum vasculaire due to the presence of blood vessel within the middle reticular layer. Okay, there is large blood vessels, and it is also known as stratum vasculature because this type of pattern, this reticular pattern, it constricts the blood vessel, acts as ligature after delivery, postpartum and after menses, that is postmenstrual. And as we all know, MMS, so mucosa, muscle layer, and then comes serosa, which is also known as, in case of uterus, it is perimetrium, which is nothing but the visceral peritoneum with adjacent connective tissue having blood vessel, a small blood vessel, the lymphatics, nerve and elastic fiber. Now mucosa differ with stages, that both epithelium and lamina propria, they are different in proliferative and secretory phase. We all know that ladies are natural inventors and like James Watt. But here the spelling of James is, as we all know, the ladies are very reluctant to this James. So the spelling will be James Watt, G-E-M-S. G for gland, E for epithelium, M for mitotic figure, S stroma, James Watt, that is WBC, artery and thickness, endometrial thickness. Gland, these all things will be more in secretory phase. There are two phases. of the menstrual cycle, that is the proliferative and the secretory phase. In secretory phase, all these will be more. Okay, and in proliferative phase, all will be less, except this mitotic figure. Only this much, this one will be more in proliferative, mitotic figure. Now gland, again divided. These are subheadings of gland. The gland has got subheading, again gland, that is glycogen store, L for lumen, A for architecture, N for number, and D for discharge. That in secretory phase, the gland will be more. Both will be more. In gland there is glycogen store will be more. The wide lumen, the architecture in the secretory phase, it is step ladder pattern, tortuous. And in the proliferative phase, it is simple tubular. But in the secretory phase, it is tortuous, step ladder pattern. And the number will be more in the secretory. Everything will be more in secretory except mitotic figure. And discharge, as its name itself says, secretory phase. So more secretion, more discharge. And now second one is the epithelium. In proliferative, it is simple columnar. And in secretory, it is hypertrophied columnar. Mitotic figure will be more in proliferative. Mitotic figure is what? The cell, showing the cell division, and due to which the chromatin will be completely filled, densely packed within the nucleus. And there will be no space in between the nuclear membrane and the chromatin. That type of cell is known as mitotic figure. As this is in proliferative phase, so cells, the mitotic figure will be more compared to secretory phase. And again rest of these are more in the secretory phase. That stroma, amount of stroma will be more in secretory, WBC will be more, artery, the number, and the tortuosity, both will be more in the secretory phase. Endometrial thickness, it is 2 to 3 mm in proliferative and 4 to 5 mm in secretory phase. Here, this is of secretory phase, this logical slide. That's why they are very tortuous. So many glands, numbers are more. And in this slide you can see there will be very less amount of artery and gland within the lamina propria. Okay, so this is of proliferative phase and this is of secretory phase. Here also you can see this is the histological slide of uterus, and this is lined by the simple columnar epithelium, actually hypertrophied columnar, because they are in the secretory phase, as there are abundance of arteries and gland. Coming to viva question, tell me the histological layers of uterus. It is perimetrium, from outside inwards perimetrium, myometrium, endometrium. We have discussed how endometrium differ in proliferative and secretory phase. Tell me the two most important differentiating feature in proliferative and secretory phase. It is artery and the gland status. What is decidua? It is the lamina propria. While the lady becomes pregnant, then the endometrium laden with the glycogen store. Its gland is filled up with the glycogen store, and that type of endometrium is known as decidua. What is the type of epithelium in proliferative and secretory? It is simple columnar and hypertrophied columnar. Please tell the arterial network of uterus. We already discussed. Now coming to fallopian tube. Histology of fallopian tube. What we are seeing here, this one and this one. It is divided into 4 parts, that is interstitial or intramural part, that it runs the part of the fallopian tube within the substance of uterus. It is the interstitial, and then comes isthmus, ampullary region, and then infundibulum, which ends with the fimbria. and these are the transverse section at this region. Interstitial, it is signified by the abundance of the muscle layer. Where is the, in case of isthmus, the all are in proportionate. All layers are of equal thickness at the region of isthmus. Whereas in case of ampullary region and infundibulum, mucosal fold, there are so many branching. They are highly branched mucosal fold. Very characteristic. As we all know, the histological layer of whole of the reproductive system, female as well as male, but we are discussing about the female. So MMS, mucosa, epithelium plus lamina propria. Epithelium, as that of the uterus, it is simple columnar, but is of both varieties, ciliated and non-ciliated. Ciliated, they are responsible for the movement of ova and sperm, whereas the non-ciliated for nutrition of ova and sperm, and they are known as peg cell. Number of peg cell increases in the secretory phase. Highly folded mucosal fold, what we have seen. Muscle layer is not luckily like that of uterus. It is same as GIT, that is ola, outer longitudinal and inner circular. And lastly, there is serosa, MMS. Now this is the histological slide of fallopian tube, characterized by the highly folded mucosa lined by simple columnar epithelium. And then comes lamina propria, muscle layer, which is outer longitudinal and inner circular, and then lastly serosa on the external aspect. This is again highly folded mucosal fold, so signifies it is of the ampullary region, and this is of infundibulum. Highly, there are so many, they are very long and branched mucosal fold. Viva question, what type of epithelium it contains? Simple columnar, ciliated as well as non-ciliated. Tell me the histological layer. It is MMS, epithelium plus lamina propria, and muscle, that is outer longitudinal, inner circular, and serosa. What is peg cell? It is non-ciliated variety of simple columnar, which is entitled for giving nutrition to the sperm and oocyte, secondary oocyte. A tube with the folded mucosal fold present in all, that is fallopian tube, vas deferens and ureter. But how will you differentiate it? The examiner will ask you. So here you can see, this is the histological slide of, here is the fallopian tube, this is of vas deferens and this is of ureter. So differentiating feature in all these three, the histological layer are same, that is MMS, mucosa, muscle layer and serosa. But type of epithelium is different. In fallopian tube, it is simple columnar. In vas deferens, it is pseudostratified columnar with stereocilia, ETH. And in ureter, it is transitional epithelium. But how will we come to know that the epithelium is of simple columnar? Mainly because of the arrangement of nucleus. We all know the simple columnar has got oval elongated nucleus. So one row of elongated nucleus, because cell membrane are not so markedly stained, only nucleus is markedly stained, and the pattern of nucleus tells about the what is the slide. And here it is of double layer, the basal layer having round nucleus and then elongated double layer. And in this slide we can see there are multiple layer of nucleus. So this is of transitional epithelium. Here the clump of sperm cell not present in the fallopian tube. In vas deferens it is present. Here you can see this one, and in ureter it is not present. Now examiner will ask you, can it be possible that a sperm cell present in the fallopian tube? Yes, it is possible during the fertilization period. How long a sperm cell can survive in the fallopian tube? it is 2 to 5 days. How many sperm reaches fallopian tube? At the junction of uterus and fallopian tube, the 5,000 sperm can approach there at that site. But in the fallopian tube, only 1,000 can enter. Can we see a sperm cell within the fallopian tube? No. There is a difference. Can it be possible that a sperm cell present? Yes, it is present, but not visible, because the size of a sperm cell is very less. It is a millionth of an inch. So we can't see. So we can't see a sperm cell with our usual compound microscope. We can see it by bright field microscope or phase contrast microscope. Is there any natural product which kills a sperm cell within the fallopian tube? Yes, it is the soya product which kill a sperm cell within the fallopian tube, and it should be strictly prohibited in the pregnant lady. Why there is that will burn out a sperm cell? Because it inhibit the cell division and also inhibit the angiogenesis process, that soy product or soya product, because that contain gilestine, Gilestei, and gilestine is a chemical which inhibit the cell division, and those character is utilized for the treatment of cancer. What is the size of a sperm cell? It is the millionth of an inch. Can we see it by our microscope? No, not by compound microscope, but possible by the phase contrast and the bright field microscope. Now coming to ovary. Here, these are the pair of ovary at the end of the fallopian tube. Here, and the ovarian fimbria is attached to the ovary. Okay. Now, what are the layers of ovary? From outside inward, first there is germinal epithelium. Actually, it is a misnomer. It is a visceral peritoneum that lies over the ovary, but in other places it is simple squamous, but over the ovary it is differentiated into simple cuboidal type, and it has got mitochondria as well as microvilli. Then comes tunica albuginea, which is less dense compared to testis. Then cortex with the different stages of follicles or folliculi, and then medulla. These are the layers. Here you can see the different stages of follicle. This one is the primordial follicle, in which there is primary oocyte inseed by or enveloped by simple squamous cells, that is single layer and flattened nature. This is primary follicle. This is unilaminar primary follicle, the cell from squamous converted into columnar variety. This is multilaminar. Here in unilaminar there is single layer of this elongated cell, but here it is multi-layered. That's why it is known as multilaminar primary follicle. Now it is as soon as the cells, these cells are known as follicular cells. As soon as it convert into a membrane-like consistency, that is known as membrana granulosa. Now it is termed as secondary follicle. An antrum develop within the membrana granulosa, and now these antrum coalesce with each other and give rise to a big antrum. Now this is known as tertiary follicle or Graafian follicle. And here is the primary oocyte, but as soon as the membrana granulosa formed, this oocyte convert into secondary oocyte, and now ovulation takes place, eggs come out, and now the remaining structure, that is the follicle cell, as this comes out, so negative pressure create inside, which give rise to rupture of vein. Vein has got thin wall, so it get ruptured, and now the blood will fill inside and known as corpus hemorrhagicum. Now these cells form a yellow pigment known as lutein cell, and now this remaining follicle now known as corpus luteum. If the lady become pregnant, it is known as corpus luteum of pregnancy. that will this remain viable for the up to 10 weeks at least. Okay, and serve as the source of progesterone, which is essential for maintaining pregnancy. And if the lady will not become pregnant, it will degenerate within 14 days. Okay, that is known as corpus luteum of menstruation, and after that it convert into a fibrotic structure that is known as corpus albicans. This is a picture of the Graafian follicle or tertiary follicle. Here this is secondary oocyte and there is a big antrum. Due to the antrum formation, the follicular cell arranged around the secondary oocyte like ring fashion. So these follicular cells are known as cumulus oophorus, and where it is attached to the follicle at this site, it is disc-like, so known as discus prodigerus, and this is antrum folliculi. And even outside that there is theca cell, which is externally known as theca externa, which is nothing but the fibroelastic tissue, whereas the theca interna is the condensation of the follicular cell, peripheral condensation of the follicular cell, which is the source of estrogen. Very important. Now coming to viva question, mention stages of follicular development. It is primordial follicle, then primary follicle, unilaminar and multilaminar, secondary and tertiary or Graafian follicle. Estrogen and progesterone are secreted by which cell? Estrogen is by theca interna, whereas the progesterone by the corpus luteum. What are the number of primary oocyte at the time of birth? There is a famous proverb, मरने के लिए 2 बीघा जमीन ही काफ़ी है. So here we are discussing about the birth and here is मरने की बात हो रही है. So these are the truth of life, मरना and जीना. So what is related, the number related to this is the 2. So answer is 2 million. Okay, and what are the number of primary oocyte at the time of puberty? We are living in a competitive age, so even at the time of puberty there is so many burden to earn money, and the least possible to survive in a healthy way is the 60,000 to 80,000 rupees at least you have to earn to live in a comfortable manner. So 60,000 to 80,000 is the number of oocyte at the time of puberty. That will hint. What is corpus luteum? Corpus albicans, hemorrhagicum, all we have discussed. What is corpus luteum pregnancy and what is corpus luteum of menstruation? How many oocytes has gone for ovulation in whole of the reproductive year of female? Reproductive year is from the 15 to 45. So total 30, and there is 12 month in a year. So 12 into 30, that is 360. So around 300 to 400 oocyte will go for ovulation. Why it is deleterious to become a parent in old age for female but not in the male? Because in female, even they are inside their mother's womb, they are prepared for the pregnancy, because the oocyte has formed even when the female is inside her mother's womb, and that lot of oocyte is utilized. One is selected from there and selected for the ovulation. Okay, so the one lot of oocyte is formed at a time and they are utilized in every menstrual cycle. So they become old and there is so many chances to of Down syndrome after a certain age, because the oocyte will become old. But in the male it is not so. After puberty the spermatogenesis begins, and so there will be fresh spermatozoa formed in every cycle. So there will be it is not deleterious for male to becoming a parent. This is the histological slide of ovary. There is so many ovarian follicle. This is corpus hemorrhagicum due to as there is blood cells inside, and this is Graafian follicle. There is discus prodigerus and cumulus euphorus theca interna externa, a typical Graafian follicle. Here also, this is the ovary, and this is a vein, and that is present in the medulla. In medulla is evidenced by the presence of large vein as well as the elastic fiber and smooth muscle. And there is also so many ovarian follicle here. This is also histological slide of ovary, evidenced by so many ovarian follicle. Now come to cervix. Uterus is divided into upper 2/3, that called body of the uterus, and lower 1/3 is called cervix. Now this cervix again divided into ectocervix or exocervix, which lies below, outside the uterine cavity, and one that is inside the uterine cavity is the endocervix. Endocervix is lined by the simple cuboidal. In the uterus, we all know that simple columnar epithelium, but it is now changed into the simple cuboidal in endocervix, that part of the cervix which lies inside the uterine cavity, and that part which is outside is lined by the stratified squamous epithelium. Ectocervix, that is outside, do not show changes in the endometrium during proliferative and secretory phase. But endocervix, that is which is inside the uterine cavity, has to follow the rule that it shows changes in endometrium in proliferative and secretory phase. Now glands present in the cervix, and consistency of secretion changes in proliferative and secretory phase. That it is thin in proliferative phase and becomes thick during secretory phase. So the further sperm will not be allowed to enter. And in longitudinal section, there is great clinical significance. In the longitudinal section of the cervix, what we see that the mucosal fold, here also the histological layer are same, MMS, but in mucosa there is mucosal fold. There are two longitudinal mucosal ridges, one each on the anterior and one on the posterior wall, and they give rise to oblique palmate fold like this, oblique palmate fold in whole of its length, and this is known as arbor vitae uteri. As the cervix is the part of the uterus, so arbor vitae uteri. Arbor vitae means the tree of life. Actually, the fold on opposing wall interdigitate to close the canal. Okay, and what is arbor vitae? This is the tree of life known as thuja tree. It is well known that if we eat the leaf of this tree, and that person will survive for 800 years. That's why it is known as tree of life, arbor vitae, and that pattern of mucosal fold is same as that of thuja tree, so known as arbor vitae uteri. And what is the type of epithelium in cervix? It is simple cuboidal in the endocervix within the uterine cavity, and ectocervix it is stratified squamous. How ectocervix is different from the endocervix? Because ectocervix, which is outside the uterine cavity, do not show changes. The endometrium do not show changes with the proliferative and secretory phase. But in the endocervix, it shows. What is arbor vitae uteri and where else we can get it? Inside the cerebellum. One thing more, here you can see, these are the changes. This simple cuboidal epithelium, this is in the endocervix, which lies within the uterine cavity. This is ectocervix, stratified squamous epithelium. Now we can get arbor vitae uteri in cerebellum. This we can see. This is white matter forming a tree branching like pattern surrounded by the gray matter. Okay. And now come to vagina, which is lined by the stratified squamous epithelium, both keratinized as well as non-keratinized. Keratinized in the lower part and non-keratinized in the upper part. In lower part, it is same as that of skin, that is keratinized. There will be no gland in the vagina, but there is presence of Dodderlein bacilli. Dodderlein bacilli present in the epithelium, which produces glycogen, due to which the epithelial cell presence seems as vacuolated, because glycogen do not take a stain, and it provides nutrition to the sperm in proliferative phase and maintain acidic environment, which is essential for maintaining the non-infective environment or acidic environment in secretory phase. Okay, so the bacteria will not enter in the acidic environment of vagina only due to the presence of Dodderlein bacilli. And this is the histological slide of vagina. Here you can see this is the non-keratinized and this is keratinized form of the epithelium, stratified squamous, and these are the vacuolated due to the presence of Dodderlein bacilli. This is lamina propria, within which there is blood vessel, and this is Dodderlein bacilli. Viva question is, what is Dodderlein bacilli and what is its function, which we have discussed. Thank you.